So I've just pulled up at Avon Park in Preston, and hopefully I can, fingers crossed, it's not too windy or it's going to rain on me, I can get some decent sample footage for you guys. Unfortunately, this has been quite last minute. We've been super busy, so we couldn't organise like a model or anything more staple. So hopefully you don't mind a bit of like nature video and nature photography, providing that it's not going to rain and the wind is not awful. As mentioned, I'm filming on the Sony A7C Mark II currently at 4K 50, which is not necessary, at S-Log3. I'm currently on AFC, so I can see a nice box around my eye, and that seems to be tracking me even though I've got glasses on. And we've also got the Sony A7CR. So I think I'll probably focus on recording B-roll on the 7C II and getting sample footage on the R, and then I'll switch it over. But I will note on the screen, probably down here or here, which camera I'm using so you can see the difference. So I've just got into Avon Park and I'm currently shooting with the R. So there's a fountain behind me. So I'm going to try and get some slow motion video and some bits of video, some stills, some generic bits. So far, handling wise, really good. Nothing different to any other Sony. I started on the A7C, so this is really familiar to me, and to see like how advanced the autofocus has come is so nice to see, especially in these cameras. It makes me want one, and unfortunately I can't do that. So yeah, I'm gonna film some bits of the fountain behind me, and yeah, enjoy. So I'm shooting in S-Log3 with Gamma Display Assist on, which helps me see what the conversion of Rec 709 would be. This is not something that a lot of people do, but I personally like to use it because I like to see what colours are being produced and whether my exposure is correct. It's not super accurate, but it gives you an idea, so that's what I'm shooting with now. I've got standard Ibis on as well. I don't want the active on because it puts a small crop on your frame, so I want to take advantage of the full resolution in the camera, so I'm just going to stick to standard and see how that. So far it's looking really good. Really enjoying it. So funnily enough, more so recently, I have actually ditched the gimbal, and that is not something I've done on purpose. It's just because the Ibis in these cameras is insane. So usually I shoot with the Sony ZV-E1, and that's got standard and active Ibis, as does this and the 7C II. I just think, like, for someone like me who tends to film Alex on location using whatever camera, I don't need to use a gimbal, because if I'm steady in the body and I've got active or standard Ibis on the camera, then I know I'm safe and the footage is going to be steady. Obviously you've got some limits with that, so standard is a normal frame, and then active Ibis gives a slight crop on the frame. So currently the Ibis is turned off on the A7CR, and it's not awful. I mean, my hands are probably really unstable. Now let's put standard on. So this is standard, and like I mentioned before, it doesn't crop into the frame, so you still get the full frame and still taking advantage of the 7 stops of stabilisation. I think it might be 5-axis. So what do we think? I think it's quite good. Currently I've got the 24mm G f2.8 on, which is lovely and wide. So even if we were to put active IS with that crop, I'm just going to switch arms because my arms are hurting. You're still getting quite a lot of frame. So let me know what you think of the stabilisation. So this is the internal audio for the A7CR. I will pop my mic on now and show you the difference in quality. And this is with the wireless Go microphone. What do we think? Is the internal audio good enough to catch ambient sound and just the surround sound, or is a wireless Go microphone better? Personally, I'd probably, if you're talking to the camera like I am now, I'd probably go with the microphone just because it's more directional and you're not catching so much of the ambient noise like the train going over the rails, the fountain in front of me, which you probably can still hear, but it's not as distracting as the internal audio. I've got the 70-200 f4 on. This is an amazing lens, by the way. I absolutely love this lens. I recently did a review on it, so if you want to check more out, then please head to the link. Can never remember which corner it is, but in one of these corners. And yeah, the video so far is really nice. At the moment, I'm just getting a variety of shots. So I had the 24-70 on to get some establishing shots and some wider frames, and then now I've got the 70-200 on, so I can really get close into the detail around the park. So you'll see a variety of water shots, some close-up, some mids, some wide, and I think that is important for when you're creating some form of sequence or film as such, not necessarily a nature wildlife film, but you know what I mean. So you do generally need a variety of wide, extreme wide, some establishing shots, mids, close-ups, extreme close-ups, and so on. So that is what I'm trying to achieve now on the R, and then I will switch it over later and get some on the 7C 2, Mark 2. So yes, I'm just going to get some more bits and then we're good to go. Now we're filming on the Sony A7C R, and I've got the A7C Mark II with the 70-200 lens. Again, I'm going to repeat the frames, so wide, extreme wide, mid sharp, close up, extreme close up, and I'll switch between this lens and the 24-70 G Master Mark II. Might be a bit fun and stick the 50mm f1.4 on the gimbal with maybe the R, and see how cinematic we can make this fountain look, because I've got all the static shots and now we just need a bit of movement, I think, to make it a little bit more engaging. So I've actually come back to the car because it started raining and I don't really fancy being caught in the rain with all of this gear. But yeah, let me know if you liked this kind of video. I know it's more natural and different to what we usually do, because we mainly focus on review videos, which usually are quite spec heavy. But I just wanted to give viewers like yourselves something a bit different, because obviously both cameras have been out for some time now, and I wanted to give something a bit more practical, more video based, and something that's achievable for the everyday user. Like, everyone's got nature around them. You can create something, just go into the park, create something creative and nice to look at, and hopefully I've given you some inspiration to do that. So yeah, like I said, let me know in the comments if this is something that you would like to see on future cameras, and I'm sure we can accommodate that. But yeah, Again, I just want to say thank you for all the support that you've given us over the past couple of months. Our channel is growing quite rapidly and we massively appreciate it because we do put a lot of effort into our videos. So please continue to like and comment on our videos, and any new viewers to our channel, please do subscribe and click the bell icon to be notified every time we upload a new video. So yes, be expecting a full review video of both of these cameras next week, which will be a bit more spec heavy and include more sample images and some video, but it'll be the video that's obviously in this video. But there'll be more images in the next video. So yeah, thanks again for watching and we'll see you very soon.